and we're strong in that one area and that other area we're ignoring, then we'll end up with nothing, because the mindset is everything. I'm realizing that more and more and more, that the mindset is everything. When you work on that, I promise you it'll spill over into your eating. It'll spill over into your fitness. It'll spill over into supplements, because the more you put your mind on the right things, the more you seek out those things, and those things are drawn to you. So now all of a sudden you're getting your mindset together and you're feeling joy and peace every day, where at first you woke up feeling confused, frustrated, feeling like you didn't have a purpose, feeling like you were just going through the motions. So now here you wake up with this sense of purpose, strength, peace, joy, this feeling of love, and the right things will come to you. You'll have this desire to work out because you just feel so good and you want to expend the energy toward working out. So you're not using willpower. You're not using any outside motivators. It's coming from within, and you have a desire to do it, and so you go out and do it. How awesome is that when your life flows into that direction? When you're focused on mindset and developing your mindset and developing how you feel being the operative word, then when it comes to resolving conflict, and I'm not just talking about with a spouse, I'm talking about with anybody, because we are with people all the time. So we have to be able to get along with people and talk to people and resolve things with people. But when you work on your own mindset and not the other person, and trying to perfect the other person and change the other person, your own mindset from within, you come from this place of joy. So when you sit down and when you talk to that person, all of a sudden what you say is different, how you say it is different. Because you're coming from a place of love. So you're coming from a place of love, so you don't want to hurt. You don't want to attack that other person. You don't want to go for the jugular. You know what that means. You just want them to feel your pain. That's how I used to feel back when I used to do that. I want them to feel my pain. So if I was caught in the rain without an umbrella, everybody's going to know about it. Because I'm uncomfortable, I'm unhappy, and I want you to feel my pain. And that's not the way it's supposed to be. I usually like to do fun calls on Friday. Light, I shouldn't say fun, more just light, not so deep on Fridays. But today, I was led in this direction. I was just led in the direction that this needs to be discussed. This needs to be, when we discuss something, when we bring it to the forefront of our brains and to our conscious, then we can reflect on it throughout the day easily. I put, sometimes I do a power image of the day. I put a power thought of the day, and I post it, and I think about it, and I find it very interesting that throughout the day, that image, because it's not only the words, but a lot of times I like to put the words with an image, or have one that has the words and image together, because I just find it interesting how throughout the day that vision pops in my mind. So maybe 3, 4, 6, 7, it doesn't matter, times throughout the day, that vision just popped in my mind. So truly, I didn't lose it when I just saw it the first time. It stayed with me. And so that means that during those moments, my mind stayed on that. So it helped my perception when it came to that topic, and helped my perspective throughout the day. One thing. It's powerful. We said that that's what happens with McDonald's commercials or billboards or whatever. Everybody knows who McDonald's is, and they know where McDonald's is located. So therefore, they're not doing it to let you know that they exist, okay? It's a subconscious thing. It's a subliminal thing. They're doing it so it can stay implanted in your memory bank. So that when you think about it, you'll get not only a thought of it, but you'll also get the vision. Sometimes you may smell it. Sometimes it may, especially in some people who consume it a lot, they'll start to salivate. All of a sudden, that craving was just ignited, and they didn't even plan on going to McDonald's for lunch, and they look up and they're in the drive-thru McDonald's for lunch. That's the game that they play. That's how they lead and guide the herd. That's why you want to be aware of that so you can protect yourself from it. But it all starts with your mindset, because if you don't feed and fuel your mindset with the things that you want to, then I promise you, you're going to let other people do it for you. Because there's people feeding you and fueling you every day. Every single day. Every single day. I find it interesting. Someone could put, I forgot. A few months ago, I posted like the top businesses, the fan pages on Facebook. And it was things like, Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts and all this other stuff. They were in the top 10 or top 20, something like that. But somebody could post that picture of that Starbucks cup or post that picture of that Krispy Kreme donuts. And literally, they'll get thousands of likes. But I promise you, post an apple on there and wait for your thousands of likes. Because you're going to be waiting a long time. Okay? And that's why I like posting images regardless. I could care less about that. But the bottom line is, if your eyes saw it, if I posted a picture of that apple and your eyes saw it, then hey, I'm going to hit you with the stuff that I want to ingrain in your subconscious. That is for your benefit. Because that Dunkin' Donut, I promise you, is not for your benefit. But they're gonna place it. They're gonna implant it in your subconscious, and it's there. So I'm gonna implant my stuff. Okay, don't like it. That's cool. I'm fine with that. But if your eyes hit it, then I did my work as well. I can't, at this moment, I'm not affecting as many people as a Dunkin' Donuts, but that's okay. And not only that, but it's easier to affect people with things that they kind of lust after and crave. So much easier because you're playing on that. So they crave more of it. And they think it's them. So the next day they wake up, and if they go out and get Dunkin' Donuts, they think that it was them craving it. But they don't know that all that happened is it was just stimulated. It was stimulated, and they keep stimulating you. That's why you have to be sold on a healthy lifestyle. I don't know why I'm going so deep today. I don't do this on Fridays normally. You got to choose what you put in your mind. You have to choose what you put in your mind, what you allow in front of your eyes, because that goes in your mind, what you allow in your mouth, what you allow in your ears, what you allow, all that stuff becomes a part of you. It sticks to you. When it's in your brain, it's a part of you. It guides your thoughts, it guides your words, it guides your actions. Once it hits the eyes, the nose, the ears, your hands, once it becomes a part of you. So you choose, or else you're going to allow what other people are putting out there, they're choosing for you. No, I'm not going to allow that, because I know what I desire, and so I'm going to pick. I'm going to be in control of my life. Because the problem, there's a lot of problems, obviously, with letting other people pick for you. But one of the problems is that you end up not getting the results you want in life, and you think that you're the one doing all the thinking. And you're not doing all the thinking. You are being coerced. You are being influenced. And in a lot of cases, they really aren't even being subtle with it. It's just like, bam, in your face. Just like that. Doesn't matter, because they already feel like they have you anyway. So all they're doing is continuing to keep their conditioning in full effect. Food industry, all of it. Other people who are slaves to those things. You choose what you put in your mind. You choose how you live this life. Because otherwise you'll be somebody that's always saying you want this, you desire this, and wonder why you're frustrated that you can't have those things. It's not that you can't. It's just that the choices that you're making, the things that you're allowing in, that's preventing it, that's blocking it. So that person who's like, oh, January 1st, they stood up and they said, I'm going to get my health and fitness together for the new year. And they're following the herd to Dunkin' Donuts, which I think their slogan is something like, we feed America, or America loves us, or I don't know, something to that effect. And that person that's going there, then they don't realize that that is blocking what they truly want. So what do you do when something's blocking it? You move it out of the way. But you first have to start with your perspective. You have to change your perspective. You have to start seeing the glass full. You have to start seeing situations in a different light. That way, when you're out and it's raining and you don't have your umbrella, it's okay. Because your first thought doesn't go to how big of a problem it is. Your first thought goes to how awesome it is. Seeing the good in it, because that good is going to spill over into other things. That good feeling is going to spill over into the other events that you're going to have later on throughout that day. So later you'll look up and say, oh my goodness, because I was out in the rain without my umbrella, I had to run over across the street because there was a covering above this store. So I ran across the street and I had to stand there to wait for the rain to subside. And as I was standing there under the little covering, I ran into someone who ran over there as well as they were waiting for their taxi. And that person turned out to be a book publisher. And I was just looking for someone to publish my book. And so as we stood there waiting for the rain to subside, I told him the title of the book, and he loved it and said immediately that he wants me to bring him the manuscript to his office that Monday morning. And now it's a #1 bestseller. Like literally, you never look at it like that. You never look at things like that. But when you start expecting things like that, when you start having a different perspective, when you change your mindset and you start having a different perspective, and you start having expectations like that, I promise you those things will never be looked at like as miracles, as something that only happens every now and then as a coincidence. No. Those are the type of things that we're supposed to be experiencing on a daily basis. We are walking on a path on a daily basis, and as we walk on this path, we're supposed to have happy surprises pop up along our path throughout the day. But we miss so many of them because our minds and our thoughts are on things that bring all the negative stuff on the path, all the obstacles, all the issues on the path. So now our path really doesn't look the way it's supposed to look. But I'm telling you, you'll start having situations, circumstances, people, experiences happen in your favor more and more often the more you change your perspective. Because if that person would have stayed there under that umbrella and just tossed it to the side and kicked and screamed in the mud about how unfair life is and how ruined her day is because of the rain, she never would have met the book publisher. But instead, when she just said, oh, like a kid in the rain, they love it, danced in the rain instead and said how refreshing it feels and how much it reminds her of when she was a kid and ran over there to get under the covering, then she has that opportunity staring at her in the face because of her mindset, because of her perspective and what she put out there. So she gets it back. When you do that, there's benefits waiting on you. You're not doing it for your health. You're not doing it for nothing. You're doing it for something, and that's the something. So think about that. Think about that throughout the day. Think about it raining.